What happens when the child you raised for 30 years looks at you and says, she will not even say Happy Mother's Day to you? It was 9th of May 2021, a day that arrived with masks, headlines, and a fear that felt larger than the front door of my home. Hello, beautiful souls, and welcome back to Light Beneath Layers, a journey of knowing thyself. My heart was in pain because my older daughter told me she would not even wish me on Mother's Day. I was stunned and I was very sad, and the ache was more complicated than a single sentence. We were in the middle of the pandemic, and the word sounded very loud about what might harm us and what might save us. So when my daughters told me that they decided to get vaccinated, my fear rose like a tide. I did not know how to stop. All of the stories I had heard about risks and shedding became a storm of voice in my mind, and I reacted from that raw place. In a moment of terror, I said words I cannot take back and told them that if they chose that path, they would have to leave the house. I see now how those words landed as a blow from the very person they had always known as their protector. They grew up knowing I love them unconditionally, and I do love them with my whole life. Yet they felt something different in that moment. My younger daughter said to me, Mama, it is not about the vaccine. It is painful that you gave up on us so easily. And those words broke me open. I did not understand that meaning fully in the moment, and I stayed quiet because I could feel their hurt, and I did not want to make it worse. I replayed that afternoon in my head 1,000 times, searching for the place where my fear became sharper than my faith in them. I admit that I may not have handled my fear well, but I must also be honest with myself about where that fear came from. It was an instinct to protect that turned into a weapon. Right then, I did not know whether to reach across the silence or to give them space, and both options felt like risk and like love. So I wrote a letter to my daughters because paper allowed me to hold my words with more care than my trembling voice could in that moment. In that letter, I told them, Hi beta, from the moment I felt you move inside me, I began to hold you with everything I had. For 30 years, I nourished you the best way I knew. I carried my sorrows in secret, and I did my best to give you a life filled with what I could provide. When you said, it is my body, my choice, I heard your truth. And though I wanted to protect you, I now see how my fear became a wall instead of a shelter. Your pain and your reaction taught me a new lesson about how love can be both fierce and mistaken, and I accept my part in that. I wanted to repair what I could, to show up humbly and to say I was sorry for the fear that came out as an ultimatum. I wanted to listen without defending, to stay present without pressing, and to open a door that had been closed by my own panic. You are my life, and losing your closeness left me empty in a way that forced me to grow, to learn, and to choose differently. I knew that saying sorry was small next to the wound, but I was willing to do the small work that rebuilds trust brick by brick. If space was they if space was what they needed, I would give it with respect. If conversation was what they chose, I promised myself to come with an open heart and no explanation that excused my fear. It was not a neat ending, it was a beginning that belonged to all of us. And I knew that love would have to be stronger than fear for us to find out our way back. So I chose to wait in the place between humility and courage, letting my actions sing the apology that my words alone could not hold. Looking back from today, in 2025, I can say with tears of gratitude that we did reconcile. Our bond grew even deeper into a place of true unconditional love and understanding. That painful season stripped us raw, but it also carved a deeper honesty between us. It taught us that love is not about control and that real closeness can survive even when fear once tried to divide us. Here is the lesson, dear soul. Listening to this story, fear builds walls and love builds bridges. Fear shouts in panic, but love whispers with patience. Fear says, you must choose between me and your truth. But love says, even if I do not understand you, I will still stand by you. And when love chooses to stay, even through silence, even through tears, it transforms what feels broken into something unshakable. So if you are in conflict with someone you love, do not let fear write the final chapter. Let love be the last word. Because sometimes the sentence that once shattered you becomes the very doorway to a new beginning. And sometimes the love you thought you lost was only waiting to return stronger, purer, and freer.